run you through my safety bolt check. You can do this anytime during the tune-up, beginner and after. I typically do it afterwards. If any bolt is extremely loose or is missing, something like that, we're going to find it as we're progressing through the tune-up, adjusting brakes, adjusting derailleurs, stuff like that, filling out bearings, wheel truing, all those things. So usually I'm just going to scan the bike from one end to the other, put a bolt or put a tool on almost just about everything you can see. Of course, certain things we don't want to touch. One of those being your rear derailleur. We got high and low limit screw, and then we have B screw. We're not going to touch these tiny little screws, Phillips screwdrivers. We have a pinch bolt cable. That's typically going to be a 5mm. You may have a different one where it's running a 9 9mm socket. But if you're unsure about what the bolt tension is, look it up. I can rattle out some areas. Sometimes, depending on what we're looking at, has a Newton meter reading on it. Something being like maybe a seat post collar. Look around, look for a Newton meter reading, seat post or a saddle bolt itself. Stems can have something, either something on the side, the back could be underneath. It could be hidden or not even existing. So then, like I said, either Google it. Rough references, I'll throw out some numbers here. This one is bolting your derailleur to your frame or hanger in this case. So I'd say anywhere from 4 to 6 Newton meters. If you feel confident about what you're doing is tightening, and then you have your hanger itself. There's 2 bolts, 2 little tiny ones. That's accessible from the inside, so you will have to drop out and remove your wheel. At this point, everything does feel pretty tight. If those 2 bolts are loose, then your derailleur may be giving you erratic shifting. So that's something that's going to alert you. That's this area here. Wheel, I already went through wheels. If you're doing wheels, especially if you have quick releases, do this on the ground, bike standing straight up and down. Release this. That's going to allow the wheel to straighten up in the wheel. Do not lift the bike up. You will leave the wheel behind, which defeats the purpose. Keep the wheel down, open. Wheel may settle itself. Give the wheel a little vibration tap or a little wiggle side to side so it finds its home within the dropout, then close. Then from there you can adjust your brakes and derailleurs, because now you're adjusting it to a straight wheel that sits in the frame straight, not crooked. It could be a little crooked and you may not even see it. So when in doubt, especially if you're doing what I'm doing, we're installing wheels when they're in the repair stand, so there's always a chance the wheel could be a little crooked. And from here we're going to move on to this is a road bike, so we got road brake 4mm. So we got brake pads. And then we have pinch bolt going back to a 5. This is why I like the 3-way, has a 4, 5, and 6. You have your barrel adjuster here. So this is for minor adjustments. As your brake pad starts to wear, you can back this out. It will tighten the brakes, tighten down the lock nut, so this will not move or vibrate free from you when you're riding. And that's just going to give you a better brake feel when you go to fill this. That way you don't want it anywhere near touching your handlebar. If it's touching handlebar, then you need to reset everything. That's going from there. And then we have the brake mounted to the frame, typically a 5mm. I'm going to change to my L wrench. This brand right here I think is Weha. Yeah, Weha, Wera. I've got all these German. If you tighten this too tight, it's going to want to pivot your whole caliper, so keep that in mind. Either counter it, or if it does move, it's going to rub your brake or rub your wheel. At that point, you can just kind of counter movement. You can move it and then making adjustments here, but you want to make sure that bolt's tightened enough, not too loose, not too tight. And there is another adjustment here for side to side. You can hit that as well. And continuing on here, getting into the middle of the bike. Let's go crank set. So I'm going to go to a longer wrench here. This is, what is this? Probably a 2-piece. Most likely has a, yeah, if it's not an 8, maybe it jumps to 10. It's not a Shimano. So what are we running? Yeah, that's an 8mm. This is a Cannondale, so they probably have something, yeah, maybe proprietary back then, FSA. This is an older bike. I don't know what year, but obviously older. It's not a through axle. And then making sure that's tight. If you had to, that can be somewhere around 45 to 50 Newton meters. And then jump into the chain rings, something that kind of gets forgotten. These could be a 4 or 5 mil. Gonna have 5 of them. We're just looking for anything scary, loose, missing, broken, things like that. I think I already did that one. So, and then we're gonna do pedals. So depending on your pedal system, you can either use a wrench that has flats, and I always like to point this back towards the rear of the bike, two-sided, so both 15 mil, horizontal, hold my wheel as I'm pushing down, so we're countering pressure. Nothing too tight, just nice and snug. Same with the other side. I'm gonna stay on this side, so everything is gonna, if I'm staying on the drive side, everything will tighten clockwise, because the non-drive side is the one I'm working on now, has counter thread. So if you walk to the other side, this actually tightens in the opposite direction. And we got derailleur cable. I'm going to counter the cage, so when I tighten down, it's going to want to move everything, so I'm going to counter that. It's going to be about 4 to 6, I'd say 4 Newton meters. And then we have the clamp bolt system, not a braze-on. That little snap is okay, but it kind of went a little tight back to about where I was because the pressure felt good. Probably looking 4 to 6, 7, 8 Newton meters for that one. Moving up here, we're gonna go to water bottle cage. That looks like a 4. So again, I'm gonna go to the L wrench because the 3-way is not, it's too bulky. These here, Newton meters, shoot, I don't know, 2 to 4 Newton meters. But we don't ignore any small bolt. This is your water bottle. We don't want it rattling, making noise. We don't want to lose your water bottle. Also a good time to make sure nothing's cracked or broken or too bent. Go up to our seat collar. There is a reading on here, 4.6 or 6.5. But again, I'm just going to go by hand. It's tight enough, and then we have a 6 way up here. I can't see if my wrench fits in there. I might have to bring it down off of the ground, or off of the repair stand to get in. Wherever you're doing, you want to make sure your tool jumps in there really good. Wiggle, jiggle. Sometimes the bolts are dirty, they're rusted, or they're marred up and beat up already. You always want to make sure, jiggle that tool, get straight insertion. You want to see that tool sink in and have a fairly straight line to line up with that bolt. If not, your tool, you're going to start torquing down on something and that tool's going to slip out. You're going to hurt yourself, hurt the tool, hurt the bolt. Okay, so we went from the rear of the bike, progressed to the middle of the bike, and we're going to progress over to the middle of the bike here, and then we go to like stem and things like that. I didn't see anything here. Even going right here, there's writing here. Let's see, 5 degree, 120, 31.8. So it's just telling me 5 degree has a rise. You can flip this around to make it high or low. 120 millimeter in length from bolt, center of bolt to center of crack here with the center of the handlebar. And then 31.8 is the diameter of your handlebar if you had to replace this or your handlebar. Pretty common size. Then we go to our stem bolts here. This is a 4. So I'm not seeing any Newton meter. Oh, it's way on the bottom, 5 Newton meter max. So it's sitting right under here. So you do got to get your eyes underneath. You got to flip your head upside down or raise your bike up. Don't be lazy. You know, if you can get your eyes under something, then you're going to save yourself headaches down the road, because you may see something that doesn't look right. Anytime you got 2 bolts, you're tightening one at one time a little bit. Boom. That one feels good. I'm going to jump over farthest bolt, kind of like, ooh. So these are slightly rusted, so I have to really jiggle my tool, get it centered. That's in there. I'm still getting some wiggle. So you always want to push into the bolt, drive it in so it won't want to be slipping out as you're turning. That feels good there. And this handlebar actually has a nice dent indentation, so there's probably some type of clamping here. Maybe they had a light, but they dented the crud out of it here. If this was carbon, most likely would have cracked through the layer. You probably would have seen the carbon weave in there. This would be gone out the door, garbage. This is aluminum. People tend to beat the crap out of aluminum and still feel confident to ride it. Technically, if we were to talk to Control Tech, the maker, they'd probably say this is now garbage. We'll let the customer know about that and let them go from there. And then we got shifters. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll do a test. I don't know if you can catch this on film, but I'm basically going to squeeze the two together with my hands. Boom. Yeah, camera's not going to pick that up, but these are safety. I do safety tests too, like if I didn't have a tool, I was out there, we're on a ride with a group or something and nobody had did that little quick safety check. We can make sure things aren't just moving by trying to flex it by hand. These are old school with these Shimano Alterga flight decks. So bolts right here, this older style, we're going to come it through here. There's a small groove that's going to be for my toe. I'm going to come straight line, boom, right in there. And I like to go to my 5mm P handle, PH-5. This has the ball end. Typically ball ends, I tell people to be very careful with ball ends because there is missing material because it can come in at weird angles. We just can't handle high torque, but the bigger the ball end, I feel pretty confident that this will engage. And again, torque reading, go look it up, but probably anywhere from 5 to 9 Newton meters. So I'm just searching, trying to have my toe fall in. There it is, there's the bolt. And then just tighten. And before you even do that, you may want to look at it, make sure that you got, these are straight, right? If this falls over, then this gets tilted in. Most of the time you're building bikes, there's a straight line. Some people may do personal preference and tilt it in slightly because of their wrists. Maybe they're compensating for a handlebar that's too big. Who knows? But here's my little groove. There we are. Yeah, these are all pretty tight. Like I said, you could get your hands, just try to do a squeeze in. You're not going to have a lot of strength, so everyone's strength is different. So we just apply a lot of pressure. If you apply light pressure and that thing moves, then it's telling you it's loose. So quick test there. We'll jump over here. I'm going to cherry tools. Brake pad, pinch bolt, go to 4 or 5. Oop, that one was loose. And careful, because as you turn this bolt, it may want to pivot the whole pad, which you just did. So I'm going to brace the pad, make sure it's aligned with the sidewall of your rim. And that one looks a little off, that got tight. And then just make sure, give it a spin. Nothing changed. Hit the brake, spin. Not hearing any noise, wheels spinning nicely. That's good. So I think we got this whole front area. Does have a computer on here. That's with the plastic strap. It's got a little knob over here. Doesn't feel loose. And yeah, you could still tell it's old school because we're running a wire. But nice bike overall. Cannondale CAD 6, CAD 9, excuse me. And that's the safety bolt check.